Welcome back, traders. This is Sandra with Trading Made Simple.
So, Doug, are you out there to participate? Please unmute yourself and tell us about your week.
Yes, Andy, I'm here. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Have your camera, Doug?
Yeah. So a little bit of background first. I started doing the autopilot at the end of May. I'm still doing paper, and I've done about 170 trades so far.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been doing everything that your people are publishing every week, all the puts and all the calls and everything. And I've picked up from a couple other sources some trades, and I've tried to plug those in and see if they work, all in the mindset of trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work.
Perfect.
The automation part of this thing was where I really signed in for, because I didn't want to spend every day, all day long, watching my screen and trying to figure out what's going on. So that's why I got into the system. What I've noticed in my case, my first several weeks, I just kept making stupid mistakes. When I would enter the information, I would, instead of putting a minus in front of something, I would put the plus, and I was doing a put on a called set of numbers and things like that. Just really dumb things. And it took probably nearly 100 trades for me to finally figure out what I needed to do was to listen to the work that the coach puts out on Sunday night and make notes. And then I'll do one or two trades Sunday night. But then by that time, I'm 76, so I have the fog of the day thing going on. So I've tried a couple of trades at night and then realized that's where I'm making mistakes. I need to do this. I need to do this on Monday morning. So I get up early Monday. I'm fresh. I get my coffee and I come in here and I knock it out in an hour. Just like Sandy says, you can do it in an hour, no problem at all. So then after I figured some of those things out, I started looking at my trades that were either getting canceled out or gapped out or stop lossed out. And I decided I was going to try a different strategy. So one of the things that Sandy and her coaches did was add the Monday 945 purchase instead of Monday at opening purchase, because there's so much volatility, there's so much pent up demand and to sell and to call, and all the industrial traders are doing all their things in that first 15 or 20 minutes. The stocks are just all over the place. So moving it to 945, I think really helped a lot on some of that. I also noticed that my CO minus 25 was causing a lot of dropouts.
Okay.
That if I hadn't had the 25 in there, if I hadn't had minus 25, another day or so, it might have come back up and been a good trade. So I've done a couple of things there. I've customized my OCOs to be 30 on the plus side and 50 minus on the minus side, 50% on the minus side. And I use percents of the option premium price, not the stock price.
Okay. Very good.
And I'm not using the cancel at when we first put in your trigger point. We've also been putting in a cancel in case it goes up and comes back down and it goes back up. You stay out of it. So I've stopped using the cancel.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because I am retired. I'm at my computer almost all day doing something.
Okay.
And it's not a big a deal for me to flip over and watch some charts and see what's going on. If something looks like it's really getting really bad, I can get out of it. I feel good with the plus 30 and minus 50 on the OCOs. The other thing we saw was that on verticals, we were getting canceled out on the minus side. And so I opened the verticals up. I left the plus 50 on the vertical, but I make a minus 70 or minus 80 even percent to avoid the stop outs on the verticals. So those three things that we've talked about there that I've changed this week, I made most of those changes this week.
Okay.
And instead of having maybe a 200 plus week or minus 600 week, and I've had some pretty bad weeks because of my stupid mistakes early on. But this week so far, I've got $2,959 on paper trading. So I've got $2,959 in the basket right now.
Excellent.
And I've got several more trades that haven't finished yet. I've got a couple in Home Depot and Qualcomm, and I think that's about it. But I made, by widening the OCO to plus 50 and minus 70 on a vertical, I made 425 on Tesla. I've done that with Microsoft and made 475 this week. I did that with Meta and made 125. Carvana and Oracle have been the two that everybody was saying, watch those two this week. And sure enough, those have been very high profit for me this week. So I like the idea that we get the experts saying here, make your trades based on these companies, these stocks.
Right.
And here's your support and your resistance levels. And that's my starting point. And I'll start there and then start looking at ways to vary that plus and minus, get in and get out.
Hey traders, if you're finding this helpful, go ahead and tap that like and subscribe. We drop fresh trading setups and automation tips every day. And trust me, what's coming up next could level up your game. The links to learn more about us and our system is in the description below. Now, Doug, before coming to us, how long had you been trading for?
Nothing at all. I had not been doing any personal trading. I've got some money in 401k and IRAs.
Sure.
At Fidelity, but I don't trade those. I'll see something that looks like it might be a good new stock to be in, and I'll call Fidelity and tell them to put some money into that. But I had not done any online trading and none with brokers.
Wow.
On a regular basis.
So really when you came, you were like brand spanking new.
Yeah.
Wow. And how many from the time that you came and you were brand spanking new, didn't know anything about the platform or whatever, how long did it take you to actually get a trigger trade to where you were like, wait a minute, this is actually working? Like what I'm
Probably within the first couple of weeks, I saw something happen good, but I also saw a bunch of negatives. So let me just back up here real quick. I got my spreadsheet open. I saw in the very first week, I had 2 positives, 3 positives, and the rest negatives. And the net for the week, that's 2 weeks. I'm sorry. It was over 2 weeks. It was 3 positives and all the rest of them were negatives. And it's just, you talk about getting bummed out. I was pretty bummed out after that.
Yeah.
But that's when I started finding out that I was making mistakes. And even in the next week of the middle of June, I had a couple of mistakes that were really stupid. I don't even talk about them anymore.
I totally get it. And I think that your experience is wonderful because this really proves that, you know, anybody at any age coming into this brand new or experience is able actually to utilize our system that we've created for you to, if you're experienced, this is going to blow you away. I was experienced with 20 plus years as a trader when I learned it. And when it happened, like it blew me away. And then if you're brand spanking new, congratulations to you. Like you came in not knowing anything, and though, you know, you have a lot more trades on the table, you know, you're not willing, and I'm so glad you're not willing to just willy-nilly this and go right into real capital. You're wanting to become proficient and consistent.
Right.
And
Right,
you're
exactly.
now seeing the fruits of your labor. And so this is another great just example that people learn at different speeds. This too, by the way, is so important because a lot of people think, especially for us in our VIP, that our analysts are doing our weekly watch list, that we have to do it on a Sunday night. You're making a great point. You're not really at your best on Sunday night, and you're better Monday morning, and you're still able to partake in those trades,
Right.
even by doing your automations in the morning. Oh gosh, Doug, I'm so happy and so thrilled for you, proud. So thank you so much for your experience, really.
No, you're welcome. Thank you for making it happen.
My pleasure. I love helping people try to figure this out. I think one of the aha moments for me was my first trade, and it worked. I made over, I think it was like $840 off of Lululemon. And every morning thereafter, I would, of course, now I was automating my trades. I'd wake up late. I'd go take a look at my screen and just kind of shake my head and go, I can't even believe this is working. And it just changed my whole perspective on trading. And then pouring my coffee, this was always a joke because I said it so many times, I was beating a dead horse, but just saying, God, the money I could have saved, the money I could have made knowing this 10 years ago. Like you just think about all that time that you sat in front of your screen trading. And it makes it worthwhile once you're able to do this, especially for those of you that are experienced having a trade on going to the doctor's office and just panicking constantly, looking at your phone on your device because you know you have a trade on and you need to be ready to close it if something bad were to happen. So all these types of real life experiences, and the solution is right there on your own platform.